What's up, Domino community? I'm Lily Hevish.
And I'm Audrey from AllAroundAudrey.
And today we're going to be doing another tutorial video on how to build some domino tricks. This is the second part from our previous video from last year. We're going to be building off the split technique. And today we're going to be doing a tutorial on how to build a domino circle field.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
So, do you remember how to do the split?
I might need a refresher.
A little refresher? Okay, no problem. Start by placing the first domino upright, and then take two other dominoes and make a triangle. It's gonna be falling
Yeah, that's my favorite.
in this direction, so the ones around it should be kind of hugging the first one that's falling in this direction. So you want this one to be on the outside, like that.
Okay.
If it's on the inside like this,
Then it won't
it'll
work.
just like hit the side of it, but you want it to like pop out.
That makes sense. Okay.
So once you have this, you're gonna get some tape. And I recommend the thicker tape, not this kind. You want about 2 centimeters of tape.
I usually use so much tape, so I'm like using a whole roll.
Just need a little bit. And then we're gonna tape down this domino and this domino to the ground so that it's a one-way domino and it can only fall in that direction.
Okay.
So take the first one, put half of it on the domino, and then half of it should be hanging off. And then what I like to do when I use tape, to make it easier to put it on the ground, crease it by like folding it over with your finger slightly. Put it exactly where it was before. You can always fiddle around with it to make it a little bit more precise. Make sure this is on the ground. Another extra step you can do is just knock it down, push it, and then that'll like make it stick to the ground more. And then just put it back up.
I did not think of that. That's super cool.
And then one more, the other domino. Again, halfway on the domino, crease it slightly, and then replace it.
And you don't want the tips touching, right? Or do you?
You can, yeah. I like to have the tips right here, almost touching, so then it looks more like a triangle. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Yay!
Cool. So then after that, you can start building a line. The way the trick works, you have a domino line coming in, and then it's gonna pop out like a flower.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
This is gonna be super cool.
So after you have this one, this is the very middle of the circle, you're gonna take a couple more of these taped ones. And then before I tape anything down permanently, I like to build it without tape just so I know where the dominoes need to go. So for this one, the next layer, it's similar to these two, except the angle of it is a little bit wider.
Okay, so just push out a little bit more?
Yep. Because you want to leave room for another one right here.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see.
Try to make it symmetrical if you can. Because the idea is when this domino falls, it's going to hit this one, and then that one's going to trigger 2 more, and then this one's going to trigger 2 more.
Oh, okay.
So every time you add a layer, there's more dominoes.
Wow. This is gonna be super cool.
Yeah. So then these 2 dominoes on the outside, these are the ones that we're going to replace with tape.
Okay.
And the reason for that is this domino line is probably going to be falling like really fast. So sometimes, I've seen this in a lot of videos, the domino line will be going so fast that it flings this domino forward and it doesn't hit this one. By having a tape domino that's a one-way sort of hinge, it ensures that it'll only fall in this direction and it can only go in that spot and hit this domino.
Smart, okay. So we're gonna replace the side ones?
Yep. Trying to make it symmetrical as much as I can.
Mine's probably not gonna be symmetrical.
That actually looks pretty good.
I'll have the
Yeah.
asymmetrical flower and you can have the symmetrical flower.
And then these ones don't need to be taped. Unless you want to tape it just for extra safety, you can also do that. But the next one, you just add another layer. The dominoes that are closest to the inside that are going to make this inner turn are the most important.
Okay.
Because I know that these dominoes have to be exactly here, but these dominoes in the middle around it, they can technically be anywhere depending on the amount of space you put in between the gaps. Some people, when they do circle fields, they'll have no gap, but I prefer just a little bit of a gap. So I'd say this gap is about a little bit less than 1 domino thickness apart.
We're just gonna make a circle around it.
Yep. And the gap is nice because if it doesn't line up perfectly, like for example, if they were all touching, I'd have a huge gap right here and that looks kind of weird.
Oh,
so then you can accommodate that with the small gap in between each domino.
I'm afraid I'm gonna knock it down.
That's good. You got it.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. And if you look at these, this one is directly in the middle, in line with this one.
Oh, okay.
And then this is symmetrical, that's symmetrical, and that's symmetrical.
Yay!
So it looks good.
Awesome.
Perfect. So now we're gonna tape this one and this one.
Are we gonna tape all the outside, like, corner pieces?
For now, until we get to a straight line.
Okay.
I just do this because these ones are a really sharp corner.
Do you ever listen to music while you build? Or do you build
Yeah.
with sounds?
I listen to music.
We can fix
It's
it.
okay,
At least it
it's
wasn't
okay.
at the very end.
Yeah.
I knew this was gonna happen. Beginner struggles. Did this happen all the time when you started?
Yeah, I used to knock it down all the time. Like I had to take long breaks in between building just to like chill and recompose myself.
Yeah. Especially if you like have just a very elaborate one.
Yeah.
And it just falls. And this is the one that knocked it all down. Let's go.
You got it. Okay, next step. We're just gonna continue it. One more ring around. We know that the endpoints right here have to go right here, so we're gonna start with these dominoes.
Like that?
If you follow the curve, this one may miss it.
Oh,
So you want to move it a little closer. As long as there's contact with the edge of the domino, you should be okay.
Okay.
With the ISM team, we set the world record for most dominoes in a circle field with 76,017 dominoes.
Wow, that is crazy. Oh, I need to be like silent when I'm done. How many of you guys were building that?
I think there were around like 17 or 18 builders.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, it took a while. Cool. And now we're gonna tape this one and this one. I see a lot of people skip this step and they don't tape it, and it ends up like the circle will fall like from here to here, but all of this won't fall.
Oh,
So if you tape it, it'll fall.
that's so sad too. Like you get there and you're like, oh.
Yeah, you do all that work and then part of it just doesn't work. It's always better to be safe.
Yeah,
I say.
definitely. Especially since I already knocked it down. Now you guys know. Tape it.
Yep. And always make sure you're taping it in the right direction too. Alright, and then the next ring, we know that these ones have to be here. This line is the starting line. It's gonna fall this way. And we don't want it to hit the field by accident and make it go backwards. So I would allow about 1 centimeter apart from the main line so that the starting line doesn't accidentally trigger the circle field early. So whenever you're building dominoes close to this line, just make sure that there's a little bit of a gap.
Okay.
And then same thing, we'll just build another ring around it.
And this is like not too hard, like that like a beginner couldn't do it.
A beginner could definitely do it.
Yeah.
I'd say it's an intermediate trick.
Yeah, it's not like
Yeah.
super easy, but it's not like
Yeah.
hard that you couldn't try it.
I'd say the split is beginner trick, and then intermediate would be like the next step, including the split plus all of this. But this one isn't as bad. This one's more about making things symmetrical and thinking about the gaps in between and making sure that nothing's gonna like fall in the wrong direction or that every domino is like in contact with the next one so they all fall.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like thinking.
Yeah,
and,
you
like,
have to think a lot about this before you actually do it.
Yeah. Look at every domino, make sure that there's a domino before that that's gonna like
Oh my gosh, I don't want to touch it.
You want me to do it?
Yes. Why did that not knock everything down? Like,
if it's close enough, it'll just lean on it.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was close.
that was very close.
With circle fields, you want to make sure that it's mostly symmetrical. The number of dominoes, like, that doesn't have to be symmetrical like this, but the overall shape should be somewhat circular. And you can accommodate for that by making the spacing a little bit wider on this side and a little bit shorter this side if you think it's becoming an oval.
Yeah, you really have to have an eye for this. Like,
Yeah. And then again, we're just gonna tape this one and this one, and that should be the last 2 dominoes that we tape.
Ooh.
After that, you can just keep building rings around, and you can even get kind of fancy by switching up the color. So maybe, actually let me take this out. This would be like a really small circle field, But then if we switch colors,
Ooh, yeah.
so then you have green, and then I have blue.
Oh, this is super cool.
It's gonna be like a target. So like
Oh, yeah.
green, and then blue ring, and then maybe another green one.
Yeah, okay, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, build the starting line a little bit longer. And this should be a straight line.
If it falls over, we have it on camera.
My vlogging camera turned off, the overhead camera, so I had to stand on the table with the dominoes. So sketchy, but we're good.
Yeah.
We switched colors, so you're gonna build a ring of green, I'm gonna build a ring of blue, and it's gonna make sort of a target.
Cool, okay. So do you just draw a straight line now?
This should be the only straight line. The ones right here will be almost a straight line, but it could be a little bit off depending on the spacing. So I'll place these two first because I know they have to be there. And then the spacing, once I get to here all the way around, it might be a little off, so we'll have to adjust the gaps in between each domino.
Wow, you are so fast. It's a competition, go, go, go.
Take your time, take your time.
I know, I will knock it down.
I'm doing good.
Thanks.
I'm noticing though, it's becoming a little square right here.
Yeah.
So maybe if you space this out a little further, and then angle those a little bit less. This could go in a little bit. If you start to see any straight lines, then you know it's not a circle. So like, always be aware of like where the rings are.
Okay, yeah.
All right, I'm on to the next row. And you just keep going around.
Are they all supposed to line up?
The layers shouldn't line up because every ring that you put has more dominoes.
Oh.
So it won't line up.
Oh. Okay.
That was so scary.
Okay.
Oh man.
Phew. Oh my gosh. We're good.
Maybe a little bit closer together for spacing. This one will never move.
Oh yeah, because that's the center. Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yay.
Cool. And now I think we're gonna switch to purple as the next color.
So cool.
And for here, for example, there's like a really big gap here just because of the spacing. So I can like shift the ones around it a little bit just to make up for that. And then it looks a little bit more even. Almost there. Almost there. You got it.
No, I'm slow. No.
No, don't worry. You're learning. This is your first circle field, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're doing a great job.
My brother. I'm gonna have to teach my brothers this because they really want to start dominoes.
Jake and Ty?
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, should I adjust or should I add another one?
Ooh. I think you could probably add one.
Okay, we could just
So,
move these over.
yeah, move those a little bit closer. So some of them you'll have to either make it closer or some of them will be a little bit wider. There you go.
Oh,
Perfect.
okay.
Okay. This is the completed circle field. And it's gonna start right here, go in, hit the split technique, and then all of these lines are gonna trigger out like a flower. You ready to knock it down?
I'm so excited. Let's do it.
Cool. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. It looks like a flower.
Yeah, it really does. Okay, now yours.
ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
That was so good.
Oh,
And it all
love
worked.
it.
That was perfect.
Yay.
It's like a firework almost.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that too.
Yeah.
It's a flower and a firework. Almost a firecracker. What?
Ooh, this is interesting.
I know. I don't know how.
We'll have to see the slow-mo video.
Yeah.
We'll find out. We'll find out later.
Replay.
Yeah, replay. Well, that was good.
Yeah.
So this is how you make a domino circle field. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you, Audrey,
Yeah,
for
that
being
was
on
so
my
much
channel.
fun.
We made another video. Do you want to explain what it is?
Yeah, so I made slime and Lily made dominoes that fell into the slime at the very end. And it was super cool. You should check it out.
Go check it out. Domino slime combined.
Woo! Yay!
Make sure to check out Audrey's channel and the video that we posted. Subscribe.
Aw, thanks.
And I will see you next Saturday. Bye.